PerkyPlanes and RC here, operating at 2.4 gigahertz, and got my good old coffee. Good stuff. A couple quick things here before we officially get started here. First thing, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please click the little subscribe button up, and that way you can be up to date with any new videos that I release. All right, and something else too. I encourage you all to take up a hobby, learn some new skills, get away from the social media and stuff for just a little while, and pick up a hobby, learn a new skill, expand your knowledge on things. It's very rewarding. And with that in mind, let's dive into one of my hobbies here. So the plane that I'm going to be featuring today on the channel has actually had very little on the channel itself at all. In fact, the first glimpse you see of it, I kind of go right towards the glow engine itself. I don't really talk about the airplane. So that's what we're going to do today, and we're going to talk about this Carl Goldberg Stinson. All right, guys, before I actually dive into the model itself, I just wanted to share this quick little story with you guys. Something I just discovered this morning, actually. I had no idea about this. So, anyways, I had acquired this particular plane from Bob. Bob is a former RC club member with my RC club that had passed away. And some of the members there had basically purchased and acquired some of his stuff. And this was one of the things that I got out of his stuff there, is this Carl Goldberg Stinson. And this is, of course, is the instructions for it, which, like I said, they told me a very interesting story this morning, so let me share that with you. So, down here I have the instructions, copyright 2004. Okay, so that's kind of showing a little bit of the age of the kit itself, or well, this was an ARF actually. Completed February 15th, 2014. All right, and then here's where it gets interesting. Completed, well, that was the completed date. As of June 8th, 2017, never flown. And I'm thinking at this particular stage that they were trying to sell it, as they have the price on here and everything. So, he had the plane for 3 years and had never flown it. I can attest to you that the engine, and you can go back on my channel and look at this, the engine, which was a OS FS 120 Surpass, the engine definitely had been run, so the engine wasn't brand new. The engine definitely had some runtime on it. Probably, if I had to guess, probably just a general break-in. Run a tank of fuel through it, or a couple tanks of fuel through it, just to kind of break the engine in. So, plane may have been brand new, engine was not, but again, it could have just been like a break-in thing or something like that. So, very interesting. And honestly, this is the thing too, probably as of 2017, I would guess that probably was at a point where his health had just really kind of reached a certain point that he just knew he probably couldn't get back out and fly. So, but yeah, just wanted to share that. All right, guys, here is the Stinson, Carl Goldberg Stinson 108. I actually thought it was 120 because the engine is a 120, but it's actually designated as a 108. So, but anyways, here's the fuselage in all its glory. For this particular video, we're just going to basically kind of step through the model here and just kind of look at whatever's there and kind of see if there's any certain problems that need to be addressed, and we'll kind of start diving into those in future videos here. So anyways, first thing obviously you probably noticed is there's no engine. Well, that's because I had taken it out to do some maintenance to it, and the engine's right here. This is that OS FS 120 Surpass, which I need to go ahead and get fully reassembled and remounted back on the plane itself. Something I do want to mention in terms of how the engine is mounted here, it was actually mounted inverted. Okay, so that's actually how it was mounted on the plane. The only thing that's very interesting about the inverted process is, or being inverted like that, is the glow starter and the glow plug. Your glow plug actually sits, let me show you here, in that little hole right there. And when it's going to be inverted like that, it's going to make starting it, of course, with your glow igniter very, very difficult. So the plane was rigged up with sort of like this remote glow igniter or glow starter type of thing. That's what you're seeing right here. This is like kind of a piece of it, and then this wire attached to the glow plug, and then you would actually start it from up top. Here is how you would actually do it. So now during the process of that, of course, trying to get the engine taken off there, where it's probably just sat for so long and all that. Parts of it did break. So there's this piece here that broke, and of course this wire came off with like the remote glow plug. So either going to have to fix that or just go ahead and buy new. And if you look here too, that's where the top of that actually came through the cowl there. So now also, we mentioned this to you guys as well. This is the first glow setup that I've had that uses the 3 different tubes there. Now the ones I'm just more common with 2 strokes, where you have your fuel line and then you have your vent line. So yeah, this one's got 3, and I do believe obviously one will be used for filling. So I'll have to kind of do some more digging on that and how that's actually set up. So there's some kind of looks at the front of it there, in the engine and the glow igniter side of things, or glow igniter side of things. Something else I want to mention to you guys as well is this is, and I noticed this as I was getting the engine off originally, is it's almost a double firewall in a way. That this, you can obviously see the fuel tank back here. You have to remove these screws right here. So this one over here, and then the 2 on the bottom right here. There's also some on the side. This whole firewall here comes off, so you can access the fuel tank. Well, actually, I stand corrected. You cannot get to the fuel tank from here. I've already got that plate off, as you can kind of see here. And yeah, you can't get to it. So I guess you're going to have to go from inside the fuselage to get to the fuel tank. All right, yeah, it's been a little bit since I've actually kind of given this thing a little bit of a look. So yeah, for some reason I really thought that you could access the fuel tank from the front, but you really can't. I really like having my models to where the fuel tank is decently and easily accessible in case you ever have to replace it or something like that. So that might present a challenge for this guy on how to do the fuel tank. And I must say, I'm not a big fan of these little screws here. And if you look here on the front panel, on this little window here, these screws were missing. So I'll have to probably go through, either round up some screws or buy some that will fit that. We'll get this little panel off here so we can kind of get a look inside here at the fuel tank location and, of course, some of the electronics. There we go, got it. All right, kind of a rat's nest in there right now, and I'm not sure about the duct tape. I also noticed in the process the window popped out over here, but I've got it over here. All right, getting a little inside view here. Of course, you see the instrument panel there, the little sticker decal for the instrument panel. There is the fuel tank, and I don't see any easy way to get that guy out of there if I ever need to do any kind of maintenance on it. I suppose I'll just have to undo the I'll have to undo the panel there, and which I think it's just a sticker. I can just peel it off, then hopefully the tank can slide out from there. I'm hoping that's all I have to do, but I'm not 100% for sure. All right, let's get you guys out of the plane for a second. You're in the cockpit now. Okay, so a couple things here I noticed as well. I'm assuming this is where you fuel it. I'll have to double check. There is a an inlet on the, or a spot on the other side as well for, looks like the other piece of fuel tubing. I'll have to double check on that. Like I said, I'm not used to these 3-tube, 3-line setups. Okay, I did also notice as well about this guy on the side here. This is actually a bind port for basically Spektrum receivers and Spektrum radios, which I think even Spektrum is getting away from using bind plugs. Like, I think the last time I saw it was actually a push button bind setup or bind process. I currently have, and actually speaking of that too, yeah, here is a Spektrum AR7010 receiver, which I'm probably not going to use, guys, in all seriousness. So, yeah, like I said, we'll not be using that. But anyways, like I said, this thing is set up for use with Spektrum radios. I'll probably just have to leave that there and leave it blank or something, because I'm not going to be using that. I currently have a Radiomaster Tx16, which does work with Spektrum. However, for like models like this Stinson here, where I'm going to kind of be doing my own radio setup, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start switching a lot of things over to ELRS and start kind of playing with that and using that. So, like I said, this guy here is probably just going to stay mounted in there and not really be used. So, but anyways, let me go ahead and show you some other things here as well. Before I finish up, I want to at least maybe try to at least test a few servos, make sure they work okay. I noticed that during storage and stuff, the covering is getting a little weak right through here. I might try to see if I can add some heat to that and kind of get it to adhere a little better. And there's a few little spots like that there as well that are where the white's starting to kind of disappear. So, but anyways, I think what I'm going to do next is let's go ahead and test some of these servos out. Okay, guys, got my servo tester here hooked up to at least the throttle and the rudder servo right now. So we're going to do a quick test on these guys. Now, these are, forget the focus there. There we go. These are JR servos, which I've got no experience with JR servos, honestly, but I know a lot of people in the past have sweared by JR stuff, so... but these are JR DS821s, and if the plane's never been flown, these servos should be perfectly fine. Let me go ahead and I'm kind of moving the dial there to sort of do it, but to kind of just to move them, and then next option here is to center them. With that centers in there, and then this right here is like the actual, it kind of simulates movement with the servo, so I'll hit that. There you go. Throttle servo's moving. We'll kind of move back here to the tail. Okay, now before I get into actually testing the elevator servos, I wanted to kind of show you guys something here first. I'm going to switch sides here just for a second. And you can kind of see here, there's of course your servo and then the linkage to the elevator itself, at least on the one side. And if I switch over to the other side, here is the problem, and it's not a big problem, but it's not going to make testing very fun. Here is the other servo on the other side. As you can see here, yeah, not good. We got to attach that, of course, to that. This clevis here is pretty bent. So I'll probably have to work on that and get it kind of bent back into shape. Probably, honestly, I'll probably just end up replacing it. Just because, it's probably, with the bending, it probably has weakened it. And I don't want to risk that, of course. So, probably just go ahead and, like I said, just get that replaced. Again, not a big deal. But, yeah. Just wanted to kind of show that. Looks like I might also need to... tighten these guys back down as well. That's kind of come off there, or maybe it just wasn't ever tightened in the first place. I don't know. So, but anyways, let's go ahead and test the servos real quick. Okay, got the servos hooked up to my tester. Let's give it a shot and see how she does. Again, like I said, brand new plane, or never been flown. I'd imagine this will probably go just fine. So there's the kind of the movement there. Not working. Okay, something I want to point out as well. This was actually the lead that came out for the elevator into the receiver. This appears to have some sort of the name escapes me, but I think there is like a name for these. It's to use for it's some sort of harness. I know that much. When you have dual servos like that, so the problem could be there, or the problem could be with the connections here. Bob liked duct tape, apparently. I can't say I would want to duct tape things, but yeah, it is what it is. So problem could be there with the other elevator or the other servo, or I'm not sure. I'll have to kind of do some digging into it to kind of figure it out. But I'll tell you this much: I will probably do away with that, just because you can kind of mix it in your radio to actually, have a dual elevator servo set up. So I might just leave these. I might just tie those directly to the receiver, and then just use kind of like a mix in my radio to actually do it. So, yeah, probably do away with this guy right here. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, kind of moving on here. I've got the one of the wing panels down, so we can kind of look at it and do some servo testing. So now it looks as if that this is I need to probably adjust the centering on these guys, because this is actually centered on the servo tester, and as you can see, it's well, definitely not there. So, but anyways, this is just more or less just to test the servos. Let me go ahead and fire it up here and check movement on them. Yep. Appears to be working just fine. Alright guys, got the other wing panel out here. We're going to test servos on it real quick. So, here we go. Let's do the movement one here. Okay, well, that's all I was checking. So overall, I think servo-wise, like I kind of figured, since it hasn't been flown, servos appear to be in pretty good shape. Well, hey guys, well there you have it. Just kind of a good overall look at this Carl Goldberg Stinson. As far as any kind of work and maintenance needs to be done to it. Probably big one there was getting the engine mounted back on it. But overall, I think for the most part, it should be it should come together pretty well. I think just a little bit of things need cleaned up with it. I would like it if I could set it to where I can get the fuel tank removable in an easy way, but I don't know if that's even doable. But at the same time, too, from what I've been able to research with the plane itself, as far as like its history, I don't think it's had a lot of use anyways. Obviously, I haven't been flown. So I think the fuel tank is probably good to go for now. I don't think I'm going to worry about it too much. But like I said, just get the engine mounted back up. So engine mounted back up, kind of maybe touch up the covering a little bit, replace that elevator clevis, and also look at the elevator servos as well, just to kind of see what's going on there. And obviously, run the engine and kind of get it ready and warmed up. So not a whole great deal of like I said, major stuff to worry about. So, but anyways, guys, that's kind of a good look there at the Stinson 108. I'll keep posting updates on it as we get to them. So, but anyways, guys, that's all from me. I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.